Take a look at your surroundings, from the steel lattice of a skyscraper to the hull of a massive freighter, and down to the simple safety pins in your home. Iron and steel are everywhere. Most tools, machines, and vehicles we rely on every day are made of these metals. This industry provides the base material upon which modern infrastructure is built. Because steel production requires such massive scale, building a plant is an immense capital commitment. A single facility can cost billions of dollars to construct and maintain. With so much at stake, industrial planners must be incredibly precise about where they place these facilities on the map. These locations are never selected by chance. They are chosen through calculation of geographic and economic requirements. If the math is slightly off, a multi-billion-dollar operation becomes impossible to sustain. We can understand how these choices are made by looking at the industrial system. It functions in 3 stages: gathering inputs, performing the manufacturing process, and distributing the final output. This diagram shows the essential checklist of inputs required to build a factory. It includes raw materials, labor, capital, and a market for the goods, alongside constant access to water and transport networks. Because industries are tied to these specific requirements, when the technology used for power or transport changes, the ideal location for a factory shifts. Prior to 1800, factories were near forests and rivers for wood and water energy. Between 1850 and 1950, coal and steam engines shifted them near coal fields and railways. After 1950, importing iron ore pushed plants to flat coastal ports. Every major technological advancement effectively redraws the map of industrial power by changing which resources are most valuable to the process. In 1907, establishing the Tata Iron and Steel Company in Sakchi, modern Jamshedpur, demonstrated how these locational requirements align in the real world. This map shows the specific advantages of the site. The factory was built at the confluence of the Subarnarekha and Karkai rivers for a permanent water supply, and just 32 kilometers from the railway line for easy transport. Surrounded by essential raw materials, coal from the Jaria fields, iron ore from Odisha and Chhattisgarh. In the United States, the city of Pittsburgh grew into a center of production by following these same geographic requirements. Pittsburgh sat directly on coal fields, using the Great Lakes to ship in Minnesota iron ore. Major industrial centers emerge only when a specific coordinate on the map provides all the necessary components for production in one place. When factories cluster together to share resources, they form the industrial regions highlighted in dark bands on this map. These areas become the primary drivers of the global economy. But this concentration of power becomes a liability if the requirements for safety and spatial separation are ignored. Manufacturing often involves toxic materials. When dense residential areas grow directly against the perimeter of a high-risk plant, a technical failure can lead to disaster for the local population. This was the case during the 1984 Bhopal gas tragedy. A pesticide factory located near urban populations leaked highly poisonous methyl isocyanide gas, resulting in thousands of deaths and permanent health damage for survivors. In 2005, a gas well blowout in Gaochao, China, forced the displacement of 64,000 people. Many victims were unable to escape the toxic gas because their homes were simply too close to the site. Industries are essential to modern life, but their placement remains a high-stakes balance between economic growth and the safety of the people living around them.